Have you checked your pennies lately? No, seriously. I'm not talking about some metaphorical count your blessings thing. I mean the actual pennies jingling around in your junk drawer, couch cushions, or even that coffee can in your garage. Because somewhere out there, one tiny 1975 D Lincoln penny is worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. And it could be hiding in plain sight. Yeah, you heard me right. A penny. A coin most of us wouldn't bend down to pick up on the sidewalk. Could be your ticket to millionaire status. So, stick with me because today, we're diving into why this humble 1975 D Lincoln penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and why this little coin is causing such a big buzz in the collector's market. The story behind the 1975 D penny. Alright, let's start with a little background. In 1975, the U.S. Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies like nobody's business. The Denver Mint alone produced billions of them. But here's the thing. Not all pennies are created equal. Most of those 1975 D pennies are, well, just pennies. Copper-coated workhorses designed to get lost in your car's cup holder or stuck under a vending machine. But every now and then, something special slips through the cracks at the Mint. Sometimes it's a mistake, like a double die, a misstrike, or a composition error. Other times, it's a combination of rarity, condition, and sheer collector demand that makes a coin skyrocket in value. And that's exactly what's happening with this particular 1975 D Lincoln penny. Experts believe this coin is one of a kind, a unicorn in the world of numismatics. It was likely struck on a planchet, that's coin nerd lingo for a blank piece of metal, intended for a different denomination. Combine that with its pristine condition, and voila. You've got a penny worth more than a beachfront condo. How to spot the $1 million penny now? Before you start frantically dumping out your piggy bank, let me walk you through what to look for. The D on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, where it was produced. It's located just below the year, 1975, on the obverse. That's the fancy term for the front side of the coin. This isn't your average scuffed-up penny. The $1.8 million coin is in mint state. That means it's shiny, flawless, and looks like it just rolled off the assembly line. Coins like this are often found in old coin rolls or collections, not your average change jar. One of the things that makes this penny so unique is its composition. It might weigh slightly more or less than the standard 3.11 grams for pennies of that era. If you've got a kitchen scale that measures grams, you're already ahead of the game. Keep an eye out for unusual features, like doubling, where parts of the design appear twice, off-center strikes, or anything that just doesn't look right. These quirks can add serious value. Okay, so why is this coin fetching more than some people's entire retirement accounts? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are willing to shell out big bucks for unique pieces that fill gaps in their collections, in this case. The 1975 D penny's combination of rarity, mint condition, and mysterious origins has made it a white whale for collectors. The coin made headlines when it sold at auction for $1.8 million, sparking a frenzy among hobbyists and treasure hunters alike. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I decided to clean out my garage. I found this dusty old jar filled with coins that I'd completely forgotten about. As I sorted through them, I started dreaming about hitting the jackpot. A rare penny or quarter that could pay off my student loans, buy me a new car, or at least cover a really nice steak dinner. I didn't find a $1.8 million penny, but I did find a few wheat pennies, a silver quarter, and even a $1 coin that had been out of circulation for decades. It wasn't life-changing money, but it gave me the coin collecting bug. Now, every time I get change, I take a second look. Who knows? Maybe my millionaire penny is still out there, waiting to be found. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab that jar of coins, raid your couch cushions, or ask your grandparents if they've got an old coin collection lying around. And don't just stop at pennies. Quarters, nickels, and dimes can also be worth a fortune if you know what to look for. If you're serious about getting into coin collecting, consider investing in a magnifying glass and a coin guidebook. And hey, don't be afraid to reach out to local coin shops or online forums. The coin collecting community is full of people who are happy to share tips and expertise. All right, folks, now it's your turn to strike gold, or copper, in this case. If you found this video helpful, or even just a little entertaining, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more videos on coins worth money, strategies for spotting hidden treasures, and fun stories from the world of numismatics. Who knows? The next time I post, you might learn about a coin sitting in your pocket that could change your life. Alright, friends, let me hit you with a question. Would you believe me if I told you a regular penny, yes, the one sitting in your car cup holder right now, might be worth $1 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the story of the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could change your life. That's right. This tiny copper-colored coin might just turn you into a millionaire. So, grab your pocket change and let's get to it, because you might have been carrying around your fortune without even knowing it. Let's kick things off with a quick backstory. The 2016 penny is part of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been around since 1909. In most cases, you'll find a little letter stamped under the date D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. But sometimes, weird things happen. Like in 2016, when a batch of pennies was minted without that tiny mint mark. Now, why does this matter? Mint marks are like a coin's fingerprint. No mint mark means this particular penny wasn't supposed to exist. Think of it like a rare Pokemon card or a factory misprint on a collectible toy, except it's a piece of money that could be worth way more than its face value. Now, here's where things get spicy. Normally, the Philadelphia Mint skips the mint mark for pennies, but in 2016, they added it as a nod to their 225th anniversary. So, finding a 2016 penny without that P? That's a big deal. A huge deal. It's like finding a unicorn at your local gas station. This is where the plot thickens. Coins like these get their value from rarity and condition. If your no-mint mark penny is in mint condition, pun intended, you're looking at a collector's dream. Some experts speculate that these coins could fetch up to $1 million at auction. Even if it's not in pristine condition, you're still looking at thousands of dollars. Not bad for a penny, huh? Alright, here's where you need to channel your inner Sherlock Holmes. First, grab all the 2016 pennies you can find. Check under the date. If there's no P, you might just be holding onto a gold mine. But don't stop there. Take a magnifying glass and check for wear and tear. Coins in the best shape, no scratches, no discoloration, are the ones collectors go crazy for. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, aka the land of forgotten coins, dead batteries, and random rubber bands. I came across a stack of pennies and decided, on a whim, to check them out. I didn't find the elusive 2016 no-mint mark penny, but I did find a wheat penny from 1943, which turned out to be worth $50. Not exactly $1 million, but hey, free lunch money. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be your ticket to a fortune. If you're anything like me, you're about to tear through every coin jar, purse, and couch cushion in your house. Just remember, these rare finds are out there, and you never know when you'll strike gold, or, in this case, copper. Before you go, here's my challenge to you. Start your treasure hunt today. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin enthusiasts. I've got more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth serious money coming your way, and you don't want to miss out. Who knows? Your next find could be the one that changes your life. We're diving deep into the mystery of the 1972 no-mint mark penny, why it's so valuable, and how you can tell if you've got one in your collection. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be inspecting every penny you own like you're on a treasure hunt. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's break this down. First things first. Most of the pennies we find in circulation have a mint mark, either an S for San Francisco, a D for Denver, or the P mint mark for Philadelphia. But here's the kicker. The 1972 penny with no mint mark is a rare and valuable anomaly. So, why does this matter? In 1972, the Philadelphia Mint was busy cranking out pennies like there was no tomorrow. However, some of those pennies were accidentally struck without the usual P mint mark. Why? Well, that's still a bit of a mystery. Some people say it was a manufacturing error, others say it was intentional. Either way, that little omission turned the penny into a rare collector's item, and not just any rare item, but one worth millions of dollars. Now, let's take a closer look at why this penny could be sitting in your pocket and making you a millionaire. The 1972 no mint mark penny is one of those coins that collectors go crazy for. Why? Well, because it's rare. And, like most rare things, the rarer it is, the more valuable it becomes. The more time passes, the fewer of these coins remain in good condition. So, if you happen to find one in mint condition, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. We're talking about $1.1 million worth of small, copper goodness. Yes, you could literally retire on the proceeds from selling one of these bad boys. Now, of course, this isn't just any old penny. There's a big difference between a regular 1972 penny and the rare no mint mark version. To the untrained eye, they might look identical, but the value difference is like comparing a bottle of water to a bottle of vintage wine. One's just a drink, and the other could be the key to a lavish lifestyle. How to identify the 1972 no mint mark penny? All right, now that you're getting excited about the potential of finding one of these million-dollar pennies, let's talk about how to spot it. It's actually pretty simple once you know what to look for. First, check the year. It'll clearly say 1972. But the important part is the absence of a mint mark. If you've got a penny from 1972 that doesn't have any mint mark at all, congratulations, you might be looking at something valuable. However, it's still important to note that the condition of the penny also matters. A penny that's been battered by years of being tossed around in your pocket won't fetch as much as one that's in pristine, uncirculated condition. In terms of condition, look for coins that are shiny and have well-defined details. Coins in good condition can bring in far more than those that are worn down or corroded. Let me tell you a little story about my own experience with coin hunting. I remember a few years ago when I decided to get a little more serious about collecting coins. I started going through old change I'd collected over the years, and there was one penny that stood out, an old 1972 penny. At first, I thought, probably just another penny. But something about it felt different. Maybe it was the way it glinted in the light, or the way I had this gut feeling. Long story short, it wasn't the no mint mark penny, but I was still excited when I found out it was worth more than a regular penny. It didn't make me a millionaire, but it taught me that sometimes, what seems like just a small, insignificant object could hold much more value than we think. Moral of the story? Always check your coins. You never know what you might find. So, if you've got a 1972 penny with no mint mark sitting around, now's the time to start doing some serious inspection. And if you don't have one, hey, no worries. Check your change, hit up garage sales, or even take a look at some online auction sites. Who knows, you could strike gold with a coin you thought was just, well, a penny. Remember, the world of rare coins is filled with hidden treasures, and you just might have one sitting in your pocket. So, before you toss that old penny away, give it a second glance. It could be your ticket to the big leagues if you love this kind of coin hunt and want to learn more tips, strategies, and tricks about collecting coins that are actually worth something. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty of videos coming your way to help you get rich, one penny at a time. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe one of these days I'll be hearing about your own million-dollar penny discovery. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow coin hunters. You never know. Maybe one of your friends has that elusive 1972 no mint mark penny and they don't even know it yet. You're rummaging through your spare change, sorting through pennies, nothing special, just the usual copper suspects. But wait, what if I told you that one single penny, that's right, a penny, could be worth more than a small car? Well, buckle up, because today, we're talking about the 1986 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, which is worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $1.2 million for a tiny coin that most people wouldn't even give a second glance. So grab your magnifying glasses, because we're about to dive into the world of rare coins, and trust me, this story is one you'll want to stick around for. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth can a penny be worth $1 million? It sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, don't just toss your 1986 pennies into the jar just yet. Not every 1986 penny is worth millions. In fact, the majority of these coins are just like any other penny. Not worth much more than 1 cent. Here's the deal. The 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare, and I mean really rare, error coin. You see, the U.S. Mint stamps mint marks on coins to show where they were made, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 1986, some pennies were struck without that mint mark. This little oops created a collector's dream. A penny that was supposed to have a mint mark, but instead had none. The mystery behind the 1986 no mint mark penny is that it's essentially an accidental misprint that's so rare. It's considered one of the holy grails for penny collectors. There's a bit of legend surrounding it, too. Rumor has it that only a handful of these error pennies exist, and no one really knows exactly how many. This rarity, combined with the fact that it's a piece of American history, has driven its value to skyrocket. Some people even say there's only one penny in existence that's worth $1.2 million, while others speculate there could be a few more out there hiding in plain sight. Now, here's the fun part. Imagine you're like me, scouring through your pocket change. One day, you find an old 1986 penny. Maybe it's a little tarnished, a little bent, but you figure it's just another penny. But hold on, you're not looking close enough. You grab your trusty magnifying glass and realize that, holy smokes, your penny is missing the mint mark. At that point, you probably need to sit down because that penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. Okay, I'll admit, I haven't exactly stumbled across $1 million coin yet, but I do have a funny story to share. A few years ago, I was visiting a flea market, and this old man was selling what he called rare coins. I wasn't expecting anything special, but then I spotted a 1986 penny in his collection. My heart skipped a beat, but after closer inspection, it had the mint mark. So no such luck there. Still, I love the thrill of finding something special. The excitement is real, even if I didn't find the $1 million gem. The truth is, finding a 1986 no mint mark penny isn't easy. It's rare, but it's not impossible. If you happen to stumble upon one, it could be a life-changing discovery. But even if you don't have the magical 1986 penny in your coin jar, there are still plenty of other coins out there that can be worth a lot more than their face value. Collecting coins, whether it's pennies or rare silver dollars, can be a rewarding hobby, both for the history and the potential financial gain. So, if you've got any old pennies lying around, now's the time to take a second look. Maybe there's a $1.2 million treasure hiding in your spare change. Who knows? Coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about uncovering a piece of history, getting that adrenaline rush from finding something rare, and of course, having a little fun along the way. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and want to learn more tips and tricks on finding coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more content lined up that'll help you on your coin hunting journey, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro. And if you find something incredible, hey, send me a message. Maybe it'll be you who finds the next $1 million penny. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time with more tips and fun stories. You're digging through your change jar or scouring through a few old coins you found in a drawer, and you come across a 2006 penny. It's a simple coin, right? Nothing special, just another penny. But hold on. What if I told you that penny could be worth a whopping $1.30 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $1.3 million. Stick around, because in the next few minutes, we're diving deep into the world of rare pennies, how you could stumble upon a hidden gem, and how this seemingly average 2006 penny can turn you into an instant millionaire. Trust me, it's not as wild as it sounds. All right, let's break this down. So, we all know the penny, right? It's that little coin that seems to collect more dust than actual value. But what if I told you that some pennies are worth more than their weight in gold? Well, not quite gold, but close enough, right? Now, let's focus on the 2006 penny with no mint mark, aka the $1 million penny. So, what's the big deal about this penny? Let's start with the basics. A normal penny, the one you find in your pocket or on the street, is pretty much worth, well, 1 cent. But, and here's the exciting part, some of the pennies from 2006 were minted without the mint mark, which makes them incredibly rare. You see, every penny made by the U.S. Mint usually has a mint mark on it. This mint mark tells you where the penny was made, either in Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. But in 2006, the U.S. Mint produced a batch of pennies without any mint marks at all. These missing mint marks turned out to be a huge mistake, and the rarity of these unmarked pennies has made them super valuable to collectors. These 2006 pennies without a mint mark are going for up to $1.3 million at auction. That's right. Someone paid $1.3 million for a coin that started as just another penny you could find on the street. Imagine finding one of those in your pocket change. You'd be going from "I'm broke" to "I'm living the dream" in a heartbeat. But wait, before you start diving into every pocket of your jeans looking for this miracle penny, let me tell you, finding one isn't exactly easy. There's no magic formula, no hidden map to the treasure chest. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. A lot of these rare pennies were discovered in rolls of coins from banks, while others came to light when people were just cleaning out their drawers. You might be wondering, how can I tell if my 2006 penny is worth anything? Well, the first thing to check is whether it has a mint mark. A penny without one, like we mentioned, is your golden ticket. But here's the trick. Not all of them are worth a fortune. Just because a penny doesn't have a mint mark doesn't mean it's automatically worth $1 million. It's also about condition. Coin collectors don't just care about rarity, they care about condition too. If your penny is scratched, bent, or super worn out, it's not going to fetch anywhere near that $1.3 million price tag. But if it's in pristine, almost perfect condition, you might be looking at a small fortune. So, give your coins a careful once-over. Check for signs of wear and tear, and make sure your pennies are as close to mint condition as possible. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. I don't want to sift through a mountain of pennies, hoping for a big find. That sounds like a lot of work. And I get it. I've been there, too. In fact, it reminds me of the time I was going through my own old coin collection. I found a bunch of old pennies, and I just thought, these are probably worth nothing. So, I tossed them into a drawer and completely forgot about them. A few months later, a friend of mine who's into coins came over and looked through my collection. He picked out a random penny, a 1943 steel cent, and was like, "Hey, this is worth a ton." I had no idea. Turns out, that penny was worth about $1,000. I was in shock. Had I known, I would have treated it with way more care. That's why I always tell people to hold on to those old coins, even if they don't look like much. You never know when you'll stumble upon a hidden treasure, so what's the takeaway here? Keep your eyes peeled. Folks, that 2006 penny without a mint mark could be hiding in your coin jar, and it could be worth more than your entire piggy bank. Just remember, check for the mint mark, inspect the condition, and never underestimate the value of a little penny you might be tempted to toss away. If you're into finding rare coins or learning more about which coins could make you rich, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, I've got plenty more coin hunting tips, strategies, and stories coming your way. Who knows? Maybe the next $1 million penny you find will be your ticket to a new life. Well, let me tell you, folks, it can happen. And I'm about to tell you the story of a coin that's worth, drumroll, please, $1.4 million. That's right, $1.4 million. And it's not some rare gold doubloon, but a humble penny from 1988. Sounds like a tall tale? Stick with me, because this is one wild coin journey. Now, before you start running to your piggy bank to check your pennies, let's dive into the details. I promise this will be worth your time, and trust me, this penny story has a twist you won't see coming. All right, let's rewind the clock a bit to 1988. You remember that year, right? The 80s were winding down, everyone was rocking mullets, and the biggest thing in pop culture was Die Hard, hitting theaters for the first time. Good times. Now, while everyone was busy sipping on tab soda, the US Mint was cranking out pennies like it was nobody's business. But here's the thing. You would think that the 1988 penny is just, well, a penny. A 1-cent coin, right? Nothing special. It's just a part of our everyday change. But this particular penny, the 1988 one with no mint mark, that's where things get interesting. You see, the 1988 penny is supposed to have a mint mark, usually in D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some mysterious pennies were produced without any mint mark at all. It's like the coin was trying to sneak by under the radar. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a typo. Big deal. But here's the kicker. This coin isn't just a typo. It's a mistake that turned into a gold mine or a copper mine. Whatever works for you. If you happen to find a 1988 penny without a mint mark, you could be holding on to a rare piece of history. In fact, some of these mistake pennies have been known to fetch up to $1.4 million at auction. I know. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. The US Mint doesn't just let things like this slide. So finding one of these errors is like discovering a hidden treasure buried in the most unlikely of places. Your change jar, your old wallet, or even your car's cup holder. Hey, we've all been there. Now, let's talk about why this penny can be worth so much. First off, let's get one thing straight. It's not because of the coin's design. Abraham Lincoln's face has graced the penny for decades, but it's not his face that's making these coins so valuable. It's the mistake that was made during production. When a coin's mint mark is missing, it's like finding a rare comic book that's missing the issue number. Collectors go wild for that kind of stuffed eye. In fact, there are only a handful of these 1988 no mint mark pennies in existence. That's why they are so incredibly valuable. Imagine finding a limited edition concert ticket or a vintage toy, something that's been kept safe over time, just waiting for the right buyer. That's what's going on with these pennies. And here's where it gets even more interesting. There's still a chance you might have one of these pennies tucked away somewhere. I remember going through my old coin collection one day, pulling out coins from the 80s, thinking I had a rare collection of coins, and then I found it. A 1988 penny. I thought, no way. This is it. I checked and double-checked, but alas, no mint mark. My heart raced as I thought about the fortune I might have just uncovered. Spoiler alert. I didn't find the jackpot, but that's how real these finds can feel. And it's a perfect example of why you should keep an eye on your change. You never know when you might stumble onto something worth a fortune. So, what does this all mean for you? If you've got a 1988 penny lying around with no mint mark, don't just toss it into the jar. Give it a good look. It could be your ticket to a small fortune. But here's the thing. Most of us won't find that $1.4 million coin in our pocket change. But that doesn't mean you can't make your coin collection more valuable. I've got tons of tips on how to spot valuable coins, the ones you should be watching out for, and how to start building your own treasure trove. And hey, if you want to keep learning about coins, tips for coin collecting, and strategies to find those hidden gems, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on more coin tips that could turn your collection into something really special. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Who knows, maybe next time we'll be talking about how you found your very own 1988 penny worth $1 million. Until then, happy hunting, and remember, keep those coins close, because you never know which one might be the next big thing. What do you think a penny is worth? A cent? A nickel? Maybe a dime if you're feeling fancy? Well, let me blow your mind with this. There's a penny, just a single penny, from 1978, and it's worth a whopping $1.5 million. Yep, you heard me right. That little copper coin could be the ticket to your next vacation in the Bahamas, or, a brand new house. But how? Why? What's the deal with this penny? Stay tuned, because we're diving deep into the mystery of the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this. So, let's talk about the coin that has everyone's jaw on the floor, the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, pennies are supposed to have a little mint mark on them. That tiny D for Denver or S for San Francisco, showing where they were made. But in 1978, a super rare error occurred, and some pennies didn't get that mint mark. And that is where the magic happens. Now, why is this so special? You might think, okay, it's just a penny, right? How could it possibly be worth anything? Well, my friend, sometimes the value of a coin isn't about how many there are. It's about how many there aren't. In the case of this 1978 no mint mark penny, there's a crazy low number of these floating around. Some estimates say that only about 1 or 2 of these were ever found. And, like most rare things, when there are fewer of them, the price goes up. Way up. This penny, despite being just a cent on its face, is incredibly valuable because of that little mistake. If you found a Picasso painting in your garage, you wouldn't be like, I'll throw this in the donation bin. You'd hold on to that thing for dear life. Same goes for this penny. It's a piece of history. But hold up, you might be thinking, how can I tell if I've got one of these super rare 1978 no mint mark pennies? That's the $1.5 million question, right? First things first, you've got to check your penny. If it's from 1978 and doesn't have a mint mark, you might be holding onto a tiny gold mine. Now, I know what you're thinking. What are the odds? Well, the odds of finding this penny are like winning the lottery. So don't go rushing to the change jar just yet. But hey, you never know. If you do find one, make sure to keep it in pristine condition. The value could skyrocket depending on its condition. If it's in mint condition, that could easily be worth millions. I'll tell you a funny story. A few years back, I found a 1970-something penny in my couch cushions. I thought, hey, this looks kind of old, so I held on to it. When I found out about the value of these rare coins, I got all excited and checked it. Spoiler alert, it was a regular penny, not the rare one. But hey, you never know where these things will turn up, right? Moral of the story: always check your change and your couch. Now, let's talk about the real kicker, the value. The current market value of this penny is estimated at around $1.5 million. Yes, million with an M. That's because of the rarity of these coins. Think about it. If you're the lucky person who has one, you're sitting on a small fortune. Why is this penny worth so much? Well, you've got rarity and historical significance. These coins didn't have the mint mark because of a mistake made during the production process. And as you know, mistakes, especially rare ones, tend to be more valuable over time. It's like that one friend who can't cook but somehow always makes the most incredible dish because it's a total accident. You know who you are. All right, now you're probably wondering, how do I make sure I'm not missing out on any other hidden gems in my pocket change? Well, that's why you need to stick around and hit that subscribe button. We've got more tips and tricks for finding valuable coins, collecting strategies, and stories of other incredible finds coming your way. You don't want to miss out, because who knows? Maybe next time, you'll be the one pulling a $1.5 million penny out of your wallet. So, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with your friends. And remember, next time you find a penny, it could be more than just a penny. It could be your ticket to something amazing. We're diving into one of the craziest, most mind-blowing stories in the coin world. We're talking about the 1985 Abraham Lincoln penny. But wait for it. This penny has no mint mark. You heard that right, no mint mark. And get this, it's worth a whopping $1.6 million. Yes, you didn't mishear me. So, stay tuned because you'll want to know how to spot one of these rare pennies in your own change jar. All right, let's break this down. So, you might be asking, what makes the 1985 penny so special? Good question. Let's start with the basics. Most pennies minted in the US have a mint mark, a small letter, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco, or sometimes none at all if it's from the Philadelphia Mint. But in 1985, something happened, or rather, didn't happen, at the Philadelphia Mint. For reasons still debated among coin collectors and experts, a small batch of 1985 pennies came out of the mint with no mint mark. Now, normally this wouldn't be too crazy. After all, the mint makes billions of pennies each year, and a few little mistakes happen, right? But here's where things get wild. These pennies, with no mint mark, became ultra rare. And in 2015, one of these bad boys was sold at auction for $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. One little penny, going for more than the cost of a fancy car, a vacation to Europe, and probably a couple of new phones. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way I'm going to find one of these. Well, my friend, that's where you're wrong. Let me share a quick story. I was digging through some old coin jars I had lying around. Some of them probably had coins in them from the 90s, maybe even earlier. And while I was sifting through all the pennies, mostly from the 2000s, I came across this penny from 1985. No mint mark. I didn't know it at the time, but my heart skipped a beat when I remembered hearing about these rare ones. Now, I'm not saying I found a $1.6 million penny. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But the possibility? It was enough to keep me digging. So, now you're probably wondering, how can you find one of these million-dollar pennies? Well, let's talk about what to look for. The year is key. You need to find a 1985 penny, which shouldn't be too difficult since that year isn't too far back. You can check your change, look through old coin rolls, or even sift through your childhood piggy bank. Who knows? It could be hiding in there. Look closely at the penny. A 1985 penny with no mint mark should have no letter under the date. If you spot one, don't go spending it. Carefully check for any wear and tear, because the better the condition, the more it could be worth. Now, if the penny looks a little worn, don't panic. These rare coins can still fetch a pretty penny, even with a little damage. Check the weight. A regular penny weighs about 2.5 grams, so if it's too light or too heavy, it could be something interesting. And remember, the coin market is super dynamic. A penny's value can shift depending on factors like rarity, demand, and condition. So while $1.6 million is the top price for the rarest ones, even an average, decent condition 1985 penny without a mint mark could land you a few $100. Still not bad for something that's just been sitting in your pocket all these years. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know when that ordinary penny could turn into a gold mine, or at least a small fortune. If you happen to come across a 1985 penny without a mint mark, don't just toss it in the jar with the rest of your change. You could be holding onto a piece of history that's worth far more than you think. And hey, I'm not saying you're going to find a $1.6 million penny today, but you'll definitely want to start checking your pennies a little more carefully. Who knows, you might be the next coin collector to strike it rich. If you want more tips and tricks on coins worth money, strategies for spotting valuable finds, or if you just want to hear more ridiculous stories like this one, make sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Trust me, your coin collection and your wallet will thank you.